So by far and large, I think, anyone that's been really paying attention, there's something that I'm providing that at least looks a lot different from everything else. Okay. And I think that it's not a stretch to say it's pretty consistent and accurate. And there's a lot of elements that are precision oriented. Now, if you're new or if you've been following along since last year, it still might be feeling like it's out of your reach. And that's normal. That's absolutely normal. Because you are now just warming up to seeing what these concepts can do and the various approaches that the market presents, the opportunities to use them. So I try, and hopefully you can appreciate this, I try to present the commentary in a way that allows you to find your own model in it. I'm telling you what I'm basing the turning points in real time before it happens, what levels should be key, but don't lose sight of everything that's available in your chart. Like if you see something that might be a breaker or optimal trade entry or something else, some other PD array, you should not be avoiding that, because you're really going to be able to learn quicker. Not that I'm trying to rush anyone through it, but you'll learn better to trust your own analysis versus the thing I may or may not be referring to at the time. And I may be referring to it subconsciously looking at the chart, but because I'm doing something on such a small little time frame to provide proof that you can read the tape, it may not make its way into the comment. Whereas on the video, obviously I'll have more opportunity to present those things. But I want to try to teach myself, which is really what I was doing this entire month, is to focus on the things that I would want to talk about and leave everything else out, like the ranting and the storytelling about experiences. And this is what I did over here, and this is what happened to me, and this is what you should avoid. They will find their way in the live streams, but I'm going to try to do my best to keep the focus on what price is doing right now. So there's going to be times, hopefully, most of that live stream will be quiet, and I'll only be talking about things that are important. So that way it kind of trains your subconscious also to not feel like you got to be busy all the time. Because we're watching price, we're observing price, I'm going to be highlighting specific characteristics that I think are noteworthy for you. They may or may not be catalysts for price runs. And that's not the point, really, because the worst thing you can do is go in, and this is what I mentioned the other day, and pretty much every time I've ever called the market and moves in my favor. I really don't want you sending me tweets saying thank you and showing me that you made money. I don't want that. That's pressure on me, because I'm concerned that some of you are not going to listen and you're going to try to trade instead of trying to learn how to do this on your own. And eventually I'm going to get it wrong. And then you're going to be upset. And I'm going to be upset because you didn't listen. So take advantage of the opportunity. I'm not going anywhere, folks. Okay. We have a whole year in front of us. Just relax. All these things repeat. And I'm teaching you how to navigate, get through this jungle. Sometimes you're going to step in quicksand. I'll be there to pull your attention away from what you're trying to get yourself into if you would have pushed a button, but you're not going to, right? You're not listening, I know. But you'll learn the lesson. Invariably, I'm going to get something wrong, and you're like, oh, let me just go back to what he said and not push the button and focus on learning. But you'll see that there are times when the markets are really easy. They're real easy, like books you've read before. You just know it. You know the plot. You know the dialogue. You know what the characters are going to say with one another. You know everything. And if you really love the story, the writer, the book, and I have several books like that, more or less Stephen King books, and I can read them multiple times.